Hi, I'm Miriam, physiotherapist here at Fit for Life Physiotherapy. And today we're going to go through another movement sequence that is useful for moving the trunk to help with improving our diaphragmatic breath and breathing through our rib cage. And this is important because being able to get a good diaphragmatic breath where we're not breathing into our chest can be really helpful in calming or down-regulating our nervous system, which is useful in managing stress and also in managing pain. So this movement sequence involves some rotation of the trunk. So I'm going to have you lie on your back and starting with your knees bent and arms out to the sides, and with keeping knees together, you're going to drop your knees over towards the right-hand side. And then as you exhale, bring the knees back up to the center. As you inhale, let the knees fall down to the left-hand side. And as you exhale, coming back up to center. And just moving with your breath, moving from one side to the other, just starting to loosen up through the lower back as well as a little bit through the trunk here. On your next time over to the left, just let your knees pause there. Turn your head to the opposite side and focus on breathing into the side of the trunk there. So as you're breathing in, really feeling the ribs expand through this right side of the body. And as you exhale, letting everything soften. And just taking a few breaths here. If you find that your knees are kind of hanging there in space and because of mobility you're not quite reaching the ground, you can always let your knees rest onto a cushion or to a block so that you can be a little bit more relaxed. Take one more breath in, and then as you exhale, come back up to the center. And then letting your knees fall down to the right. Let your head turn the opposite direction. And as you're breathing in, really feel like you're filling up the left side of your rib cage and feeling that space between the ribs opening as you take a big breath in. And then as you exhale, letting everything relax and sink down. And take a few breaths here. And then on your next exhale, come back up to center. And then let yourself lie on your right-hand side. You want to rest your head on your hands or have a pillow here. Let your knees come up so that your hips and knees are bent to 90 degrees. And from here, you're going to lift your left arm out in front of you. As you inhale, bring that arm up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, roll back. Let your eyes follow your hands, keeping your head supported. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, come back around again. And you'll notice that the shape that you're going into is very similar to the shape you're in when you're lying on your back, but it will feel a little different. You're going to feel a little bit more movement and stretch and opening through the chest and through the upper back. So inhale, lift the arm up. Exhale and roll back. Inhale there, and then exhale to come back around again. We're just going to move in and out of this movement a few times before we pause in the end range. So inhale to lift up, exhale and roll open. Inhale there, and exhale to come back around again. Inhale to lift up. Exhale and roll open. And let's pause here. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, let everything sink a little bit deeper. Inhale. Exhale, letting everything relax. One more time. Inhale. Exhale and sink further into that twist. Inhale and then exhale, coming back around again. So let's switch over to the other side. I'm going to turn direction so you can still see me. But hips and knees are bent to 90 degrees. We're trying to keep our hips and knees stacked. Head is supported with your hand or a pillow. Top arm out in front. Inhale to lift the arm up. And exhale to roll back. Inhale there. And exhale to come back around again. Inhale to lift the arm up. Exhale and roll open. Inhale and exhale to come back around again. Inhale to lift up. Exhale, roll open. And let's just pause here. Inhale and then exhale, let everything sink down. Inhale. Exhale, moving a little further into that twist as you release. Inhale. Exhale and release. Inhale and exhale, come back around again. And that you can feel some really nice movement through the trunk. And the better that our thoracic spine and our rib cage moves, the better we're going to be able to take that big diaphragmatic breath. If any of these movements feel not quite right for you, talk to your physiotherapist and talk about some options for you. We'll see you again another time.